Gentleman's Homebrew.
Coming at ya.
Hey, I'm here with my son-in-law Paul.
How's it going?
And we were out in the snow with the grandkids.
It was a lot of fun.
And we managed to slip away because it's cold. And what a time for a dark beer. We've got one I've been cellaring. It's a 2012 Older Viscosity from Port Brewing out of San Marcos, California. Tell us a little bit about this one.
So it's an Imperial Stout, and it's a Bourbon Barrel Aged version of the Imperial Stout. Old Viscosity, so this is older than old. And it's a 12 ABV. It's a German Magnum hops, and original gravity is 1.091. And it's a aged for a minimum of 9 months.
In the barrels.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to get this puppy cracked open and give it a whirl. Well, at this point there's really not much in terms of a head, but I want to say it's really dark brown rather than black. And the little bit of head that we have is kind of a, well, it's a brown, it's a light brown. It's kind of that mocha color. So, alright, well let's get a nose on it. Dark fruits.
Powerful.
Bourbon. Chocolate. Roast. It's got a nice sweet aroma, right?
Yeah, maple.
It's a light hint of molasses, but you get more on the toffee side, I think, in terms of that sweet, and a little bit of what like the English would call the treacle, kind of a scent.
I gotta take a gentle whiff of it. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, I'm getting a
12.
lot of dark fruits. I'm getting like some raisins, a little bit of some like prunes and plums on there, and a little date sugar, kind of brown sugar off of it.
Brown sugar.
Maybe a hint of vanilla. And then I'm getting more of the bourbon.
Yeah.
A little bit of oakiness. Anything else you're picking up, or?
No, I mean that's...
And you mentioned maple syrup, I think you said.
Yeah, it has a maple smell to it.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah, and caramel. Some caramel. I think the toffee's stronger than caramel, but I think they're both there. You got some nice legs coming off of your glass as well, on the side. I say we dive in.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow. It's interesting. It's not like a thick, some people call it like or the brewers describe it as motor oil, but it's not that thick.
No.
It'll thicken up probably as it warms. So it has kind of a medium body, but it does coat the mouth pretty well. And the flavors are really hanging in. On the very back side, because I've let it sit, I get a light char to it, which is nice. But I think the bourbon, the oak, big time is there. I'm getting the oak astringency right now. And some of those dark fruits hang on for me.
Yeah, definitely that bourbon.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, that 100% oak age, bourbon barrel aging. I think that char is coming from the barrels and oak astringency, big time. That's a nice beer though.
Yeah, it's really good.
And I do get some of the cocoa powder type of a chocolate. Kind of like a baker's chocolate a little bit. And a little bit sweeter stuff too, because there's a lot of sweet flavors. Alright, we're going to take a moment with this and we'll be right back.
Cheers.
So we took a little bit of time with this. I think some of the things we pick up on this is that the bourbon seems strong, the oak seems very strong in this, don't you think? And I think what you really are getting is, with time, with this particular beer, those sweeter flavors that come out of it have probably been eaten away by the yeasts and turned into a slightly higher alcohol, would be my guess. So you have a reduced sweetness on the beer. And so you're picking up more of the bourbon and the oak because the sweetness is reduced. And my guess would be that actually this particular beer would probably be much better consumed shortly after bottling. It would probably be a little thicker and a little bit more just sweet and chocolatey. As it is right now, it's really a very aged taste. So you're getting that old oak and old age flavor and some more earthy components to it. But it's more of a liqueur almost at this point.
Hence the older. I wonder, comparing it with the old, if you'd see much of a difference.
Well, we could break a bottle out. I have one. Maybe later. This is the June 2012 release. So that means we've got 3.5 years on this, just about. Well, no, not just about. We have 3.5 years on this bottle. The oak being so high, I cannot give it some of the scores that you sometimes might see in rating services, but it's very fun. And I do get the dark fruits. I'm giving it a 94 for Imperial Stout. I think it's a really nice beer. I'm enjoying it, but again, fresh, I would venture to say you get the much higher ratings. So I'll have to try that again. I am going to be going south here next month. I might grab a bottle of the fresh stuff and then try it right away. In terms of overall, what kind of score I'll go, that's tough. I'm actually going to go down a little bit. I'm going to go to a 93 overall. I'm still appreciating it's an excellent beer, but yeah, too much oak, just a little too much. That 100%, I think that could have served them a little better to go with a percentage where it was like maybe even if you just dropped the 80% oak aged and 20% fresh, so that you bring in a little bit more sweetness without the oak on it to balance it better. But a fun beer indeed. So here it is again. It's the older Viscosity from Port Brewing out of San Marcos, California. I'll be there in January for a wedding for my nephew, Man Bear Pig. Check out his channel, Man Bear Pig 11223344455. But from Clemens Hohenberg saying life is too short
To drink cheap beer.
and we'll see you
In the next beer review.
So I'm Paul. That's funny. I'm Kevin.
I'm Kevin.